Are you tired of sitting at home? Scared of going out because you don't want to break the bank? Sometimes you just have to say, to heck with the economy, and venture just out your back door. You never know what you'll find. And sometimes, you'll be surprised what you can do for just a little green. So join me, Dave Allgood, as we travel through Georgia on a budget.
Production assistance for this episode is provided by the Trackside Grill in Kennesaw, Georgia. The Trackside Grill is located at the junction of Main and Cherokee Streets in historic Kennesaw, Georgia, just across the tracks from the Southern Museum. Serving classic comfort and Southern American cuisine, the Trackside Grill offers a casual atmosphere adorned with subtle railroad-themed memorabilia, which makes for a unique dining experience. For more information, visit their website at www.tracksidegrill.com. And for more information on how you can sponsor an episode of Georgia on a Budget, email georgiaonabudget@hotmail.com. That's georgiaonabudget@hotmail.com.
Welcome to Georgia on a Budget, the show that reveals how much fun you can have right here in your own backyard without breaking the bank. And today, we're in Marietta, Georgia, and we're also going to be in Kennesaw, both places just north of Atlanta. So they're both rich in history, but have a lot of inexpensive activities that you and the family can enjoy, including what we're going to do today. First, we're going to check out a farmer's market. Then we're going to go over to a museum. And then if that's not enough, we're going to check out a national park. So if it sounds like a lot of activities, we're going to be busy. It is. So I think I'm going to need a little fuel. So, oh, look at there. We're right next to a coffee shop. Cool Beans right here in Marietta, Georgia. So without further ado, why don't we just go get a cup of Joe? Come on. That's good coffee. Oh, look, the owner, Kevin.
Hey,
Kevin,
how are you?
Doing fine. How are you? What do I owe this big pleasure?
Oh, you're sitting in my shop.
Well, this is awesome. This is Cool Beans, and this is delicious. And I got to tell you, it was a smell outside that kind of lured me in here. What's the secret of that smell?
We've been in business since 1992 and roasting coffee the entire time.
Yep.
So I think that controls our quality. And when you roast coffee right, it's fresh, it's delicious. It's much better than most other coffee you can have.
All right, Cool Beans right here in Marietta Square. Well, I guess the other thing, sometimes some things smell better than they taste, but this is pretty darn good. Shall we go check out the secret?
Sure.
The secret. What is this contraption right here?
This is where the magic happens. This is Big Red, our roaster.
Yep.
And, we take green beans like this.
So these are coffee beans. Can I touch or no?
Yeah,
Can I
sure.
touch? So this is what you're looking at here.
Yep. And they're hard as a rock.
Yeah.
They have no coffee smell at all.
Yeah.
And these go in the top. We drop them into a drum roaster where there's a gas fire underneath.
Yeah.
15 to 20 minutes later, they come out here, flash cool,
Yeah.
and then they have to cure for 24 hours after roasting, and then they go on our shelves and get sold to the public.
There you go. Well, Kev, thanks so much. And if you want to know more, you can come by Cool Beans and check out the coffees for yourself. They got a whole wall of them over here. That almost made me tinkle. I don't know if it's because I've had too much coffee or too much caffeine. Does that happen a lot? Because I think with jittery people, that's probably not a good thing to have going on.
Oh, only when it gets the temperature.
All right, Kevin. Well, hey, thank you so much for bringing us by. I think I know more about coffee now than I knew 20 minutes ago.
Awesome. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Well, now that I'm sufficiently fueled up here at Cool Beans, and I am hopped up like a chihuahua on espresso right now. This is like my third cup. But the price was right. And what was that price? Well, starting the day here on Georgia on a Budget, just $3, great ambiance, and great people in there. But next up, we're going to go over to the Marietta Square Farmers Market. It's just kicking off. And lo and behold, my chariot awaits in the form of Marietta pedicabs. What's going on?
Marietta pedicabs, where are you headed?
We're going to go over to the farmer's market. Can you give me a little ride?
Oh yeah, you got $2?
I got $2.
Oh yeah, you're there.
There we go, $2, $3. Let's rock and roll. Let's go, Brian. So, as you can tell behind me here at the Marietta Square Farmers Market, bustling, busy, and little clouds, not going to keep people away. But we need a little more information from somebody who actually knows what's going on here. So let's talk to the man himself, Mr. Johnny Fulmer, who is the official marketing head honcho director. Come on over here,
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
No problem. And let's talk about when did this bustling little farmers market get kicked off, and why is it so popular?
We started 8 years ago, actually in a small parking lot back by the Baptist Church with about 12 vendors, and over the last 8 years we've developed into 60 plus vendors and lots of customers, and a great event every Saturday morning from 9 to 12.
9 to 12 in 3 hours, and so 58 vendors, 3 hours. And what can people look to find here? From what to what?
Well, from vegetables to fruit and flowers, honey, baked goods, dog biscuits, live plants for the yard, garden.
Right. All right. And last question for you. Personally, what do you think about all this? Is it got, you got a little? You've been here since '92.
I love it. The idea came. Our son lives in New York City,
Yeah.
and we were visiting him, and he said, "Dad, let's go to the green market." And I said, "Let's go to the what?" He says, "You need to see this." We went down to the green market, and it was an event like this, much larger.
Yeah.
And Susie, my wife, looked at me and she says, "You know, if they can do this here, we can do it in Marietta." And that took us a couple of years to get it together, but it has turned into changing a sleepy town on a Saturday morning into a fun place, fun thing to do.
It's alive downtown.
It is. Thank you.
All right, Johnny, thank you so
My
much. We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you all for
I'd like
coming.
to talk more, but I think there's some strawberries, some corn, and some tomatoes calling my name. Now that we've stocked up on all our farmers market goodies, it's time to catch a train to Kennesaw. Next up, the Southern Museum of Civil War and Locomotive History.
It's horrible.
Hey, yo, that was not my fault. That was his fault.
His fault? The running back ran right past you.
We are gonna rock this. Okay, guys, you ready for the big game?
Dad, did you do the laundry?
Yeah, I used the fabric softener. Let's go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Welcome back. Well, we made it to Kennesaw. We're here now outside the Southern Museum of Civil War and Locomotive History, just there right behind me. Now, try saying that 5 times fast. You don't have to. All you got to know is pretty cool in there, or so we're told. So let's go check it out. The Southern Museum houses 3 permanent exhibits covering locomotive history, especially as it relates to the Civil War. But this isn't just your great-grandpappy's museum. There's also an 8,000 square foot education center with all sorts of hands-on activities for kids and the kids at heart. All right, here we are. This is the wow factor part of the museum because we're standing in front of a very famous locomotive here, and I know a little bit about it, but this gentleman right here, dressed obviously in some maybe some period attire, knows a lot more. This is Mike Barrow. Mike, how are you?
Pleasure, David.
Very historical. This train in a very famous. Somebody tried to steal it one time.
This is our crown jewel at the museum
Yeah.
because it tells our best story. It's the best little known story to come out of the American Civil War, bar none. This locomotive was actually stolen at this spot, April 12th, 1862, by a group of very adventurous and brave Union raiders led by a Union spy named James J. Andrews. Well, they stole this locomotive, the General,
Yeah.
50 yards south of here on that day, April 12th, 1862, stole it right under the noses of the Confederates, and thus began a 90-mile chase called the Great Locomotive Chase,
Yeah.
which is famous in Civil War and American history. We don't want to tell you how the raid turned out because we want you to come and learn the story.
Yeah.
But they, in fact, were the first ever to be awarded the Medal of Honor.
There you go. Well, she's been stolen. She's been a part of history. She's been awarded medals of honors, or at least people have that have been associated with her. And now she's here at the museum right here. In,
our crown jewel.
In Kennesaw, Georgia.
We welcome people to come and see her. Your first response, I noticed when you came in today, was, wow.
It's pretty impressive up close, right?
We've never had a dissatisfied visitor. The kids are absolutely in love with the train.
All right. Well, Mike Barrow, I really appreciate you taking some time to give us a little bit, and obviously to get more, they need to come on by.
Yeah.
That's our teaser right now, right? And a very important lesson learned, kids, don't leave your engine running.
Yeah.
When you get out, in case you just might get stolen. Now, we may not be able to relive the great chase scene, but you know what? We can get a lot of hands-on experience by going to the education center. Come on, let's go. So here we are in the Jolly Education Center. This place is big and roomy, as you can tell. There's a lot of stuff in here, so I can't even imagine the biggest sourpuss not being able to find something to do in here. And here to help me with what to do, when to do it, is Miss Judy Parker. Hey, Judy. She's the education specialist, by the way. What do you actually have an official title, correct?
My official title is Early Childhood Educator, and I plan programs for the knee biters, the little tiny ones in the program. But we're really proud of the Jolly Education Center. It has something for everyone, and we find adults enjoying them just as much as the children do.
Good deal. So when you come on in here, the price of admission, what do you get in here?
Well, we have telegraph stations where children can learn how telegraphs work and before the technology age, how people communicated actually. Yeah. We have a facade of the downtown Kennesaw when it was Big Shanty. They get to try on period costumes to learn history and have fun at the same time. We have a simulator, a diesel simulator that kids can try their hand at driving a locomotive.
Yeah.
Just a few things.
Well, what do kids tend to like to do the most?
Most of them like the clothing try-on area. These are vintage or period costumes, 19th century Civil War era.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, Judy, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're going to take a little tour and walk around, see what's going on. All right. All right, we've made it inside the Jolly Education Center, and it's a Make It or Take It Day. That's where kids can come in. It's a free event here at the museum, and they can make their own crafts. And as a big kid, I think I'm going to have to make my own craft. And I've got Diego here. How's it going, Diego? Wave to the camera. Good. Wave to the camera. How's it going there, Ellen? Good. And what we're going to do is make a little craft. And we're going to have 5 minutes, and I think, because I'm competitive in nature, we're going to have a craft off. How's that sound? Don't let me hang. All right. Get left hanging. Don't let me hang. All right, you guys ready? Are you ready? Think you can outcraft me? You're crafty, like a fox. Are you crafty? All right. I think he's ready. All right, we've got 5 minutes. We're gonna make crafts. On your mark, get set. You ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the first annual Craft Off. I'm Niles Cunningham.
And I'm Bob Smith.
Well, Bob, can Dave pull it off?
He did win the gold medal in crafting back in '74.
Yes, but that's ancient history.
Well, 4 minutes left, and they're crafting like a chipmunk on sugar.
Oh no, Marietta is borrowing Dave's tools.
That's a very unconventional move. I don't know if the judges will allow it.
The judges have confirmed it is legal.
Well, 3 minutes left to go, and it's still anybody's game.
What's this? Diego pulls a hat trick.
Yep, that's the oldest trick in the book right there.
And there's the 2-minute warning. I don't think I've had this much fun since afternoon tea with Granny.
Oh, Diego uses a pipe cleaner move on Dave. Them's harsh tactics right there.
Too right, my friend, too right. With 1 minute to go, Dave looks confused. Will he pull through?
Oh, and he's scratching his head. That's never a good sign.
And it all comes down to this.
Okay, 5 minutes is up, and I'm feeling pretty good. What do you think, Diego and Mary Ellen? What do you think about what I made?
What did you make?
You don't know what that is?
No.
It's a cell tower. What do you think?
Dave, don't quit your day job.
Well, what did you make there, Mr. Fancy Crafty Pants? Oh, that kind of looks like a train. Well, we have a little special treat for you. You don't know Dennis, but you're about to meet him. And Mr. Dennis Graham has a connection to something we've just talked about in the show, and we just happened to catch him on our way out, so we thought we'd talk to him. Dennis Graham's father actually drove the General, that big locomotive in there. And tell everybody what that's all about.
Well, at the time, Dad was an engineer for the L&N Railroad, and the L&N had gained possession of the General. And at the time, and I forget the year, Howard Baker from Tennessee was running for Senate, and Howard Baker is the Nixon hearing senator, but he had leased it for his campaign, and Dad, they run the train from Bowling Green to Memphis, and Dad called it at Paris, which is halfway point, and run it on into Memphis for Howard Baker.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So did you talk about that when you get together?
Oh, yeah.
About
Yeah.
the General? What would he say about driving it?
Oh, he would. Well, really, Dad was raised up in old coal burning engines, and they had converted this to oil burning, so it was some different from what he would make comments about that.
Well, you're here visiting the General
Yeah,
today, so what do you think when you see that train in there, the big old train in there?
I haven't been in there yet.
Ah!
I saw it the day he drove it, but I haven't seen it in here yet.
Oh, so we're catching you before you head in.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, all right, Dennis. Well, thank you very much. And, well, there you go, a little connection to the General. Who knew? You might just have your own connection if you make it here to the museum. All right, I got to tell you, the Southern Museum of Civil War and Locomotive History lived up to his name. There's a lot of stuff to see in there, so you got to go check it out for yourself because we only caught a fraction. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes, if you will, of George on a Budget. That is cost. Well, $7.50 for adults, $5.50 for kids, and you know what? We were going to throw in a better saving. Go to their website. It's called southernmuseum.org, and you can print out a coupon for maybe even $2 more off, so not a bad deal. And just tell them Dave Allgood sent you. That'll get you something. I'm not sure what. So, all right, do not go anywhere. Stick around. George on a Budget's just about to come back, and we're going to go to Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park and check out all the scenes and maybe do a little hiking that way.
Congratulations. I'm sure you'll have many happy years here. Except for you, because you'll be gone 3 years from now, struck down by the same disease that got your father. Sadly, it could have been detected early with a simple test.
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Hi, I'm Dave Allgood with George on a Budget. Now, before you take that trip across our great state here, good advice, probably do a little research. Hit the World Wide Web. It'll save you a lot of time and probably a lot of green. All right, stick around. More with George on a Budget is coming right up.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park was established in 1917 and was set aside as an important cultural property because of the significant historic events that occurred here. The 3,000-acre park includes the site of some of the heaviest fighting of the Civil War. Not only does this park preserve the historic significance of this location, but it also offers a serene getaway from the metropolis of Atlanta with 18 miles of hiking trails. One of the best is the trail up the mountain where you're treated to great views of the city. All right, joining me right now is Officer Anthony Weinegren. Thank you very much. Do I say officer when it comes to a federal guy?
Yeah, you sure can. That's
Okay.
a fitting title.
So first of all, let's talk about the park itself. What's to do inside the building? You got the museum, obviously, and
we do, and I should start by everything here is free with the exception of our shuttle bus that we run on the weekends.
Yeah.
It rides you to the top and then back down to the bottom. If you don't want to walk, we do not allow vehicles to drive up to the top of the mountain on the weekends because of the volume of traffic that we have. So inside the building, you have our museum, which has been a Park Service award-winning museum. You also have about a 20-minute film on the battle itself that sort of takes the battle in the context of the Atlanta campaign and puts it all into perspective for you. And then you have a bookstore run by the park's very own historical association called the Kennesaw Mountain Historical Association.
Kennesaw, by the way, very busy park.
It is indeed. It's the second most heavily visited battlefield park in the nation. We follow Gettysburg.
What